corruption. It's not about production. It's all about destruction of the society. It's called political corruption. It's causing a disruption.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It is officially 7:01, a Sunday evening, and it is time for your radio show, Let's Talk Oconee, and video podcast here on this Sunday evening. And right now, by the way, a little earlier today in the Oconee, they had the worship thing over at the farm place over there. What's the name of that?
Farm Center?
Yeah, the Farm Center. This afternoon, they had the worship program with some of the area churches over there. They had a great turnout, we heard. And anyway, today on the program, we have a lot of information. And before we even get to the program, I want to real quickly spotlight a video that Luke Moore from More to the Story recorded on Tuesday night right after the county council meeting. And then I'm going to come back, and it's going to be a little bit of a weird start. I'm actually going to start the show tonight with an editorial because I think I need to say a few things concerning Tuesday night and some things that are happening as we're seeing what's happening right now in Oconee County. So I want to go ahead and jump into that real quickly. We're going to bring on Luke Moore, and this is a video that he recorded just right after the county council meeting. And I want to say that I think this is the most sincere video that explains everything that's happening right now in Oconee County. And Luke will tell you more about it as we play that video right now for everybody. Don't you give it a listen. And this is Luke Moore from More to the Story.
Luke Moore, More to the Story here. Guys, tonight was eventful. If you did not watch the county council meeting, you missed a lot. There was questions about roads, budgets, things like that. There was back and forth about understanding what's going on with the building codes, the manpower, the pay. But the best things was Councilman Durham taking a good swipe at us while we're sitting in there to tell us that he don't understand our fascination with his family while we're attacking him, his family, his children, and that he loves me and that he prays for me every day. So he was thinking that I would not get a chance to respond because this was after public comment. However, I was the first person signed up for public hearing on the next ordinance. So, Matt Durham is disingenuous. I have not attacked his children. I do believe that if there was an injustice done, such as if what Kate said is true and he beat his wife, I believe he deserves to pay for that. If Kate lied and filed false police reports to condemn and completely destroy a man, I believe she should pay for that. I think that's justice. So I think we need to really take a look at some of the stuff going on. Claims he's never done anything to us. However, his vice president of his OCC, Perry Smith, is constantly on the attack on us, talking about me, this, that, and the other. They had pictures of our land. They was posting on Facebook saying that there was a steering committee meeting where we were removed. However, when I talked to David McMahon, who was the chairman at the time, says that there no such thing happened. So the chairman of the OCRP, who is the sergeant at arms for the OCC, clarifies that what Perry Smith and Lewis Collins have been posting all over the place is absolute bullcrap. Now, am I fired up a little bit? Yes, I am. So, I stayed respectful, but here's something that you should all know. The three representatives from the center to the right, which is Matthew Durham, Glenn Hart, and then Don Mize, said that they will not be attending. Now, let me be careful here. Don Mize asked Jim Mann if he attends, will we accept whatever answers he gives and go away about the budget? That's what he wants. He wants us to go away. So all of you in the Seneca district, they don't want transparency. They don't want to meet. Neither does one from Fairplay, which is Glenn Hart. Neither does the one from District 2, Mountain Rest, which is Matthew Durham. The other two have agreed, yes, we'll come and we'll answer the people's questions. We'll be transparent. But these three will not. And they'll turn around and try to twist it around on you. They said, why do you want to know? I explained to them, if you'll watch the video, at approximately 7:50, which should be about 1 hour and 50 minutes into the video, you'll see they called me back up. And I get a little bit riled up with them. And I explained to them that if you can't be transparent with the people who you represent and who voted for you when you're spending our money, you don't deserve your seats. None of you. I stand behind that statement. So if Matthew Durham wants to try to play the victim because I say that if a woman tries to destroy a man, that she should pay for that, and if a man beat a woman, he should pay for that, well, let me tell you something. That's manipulation. Most people can understand this. I want justice. I want to know, is the chairman a wife beater or is he not? I want to know. I want to know, is he completely innocent and his wife tried to destroy him for no reason? I want to know. And I want somebody to be held accountable for it. Now, I'm going to tell you what, it's fixing to get real good and interesting over the next while. The OCC is going through some changes. They've brought in Mr. Roel Cruz. I have reached out to him, and we had a good conversation. I believe we'll be doing an interview, and he'll give an idea of the direction of the new OCC. They're trying to rebrand themselves. Matt Durham stepping back as just a board member, chairman of the board. However, he keeps his hands clean while his vice president does all the dirty work. Go look at his page. Go look at Perry Smith's page right now and just look at it. Go look at how much stuff. They antagonize people constantly with very few likes or comments unless we happen to help them out. But take notice, because there's fixing to be a whole lot happening in the county. And we're going to see, is Roel Cruz able to control the vice president, Perry Smith? Or is it going to be a whole lot more of the same? Also, we pointed out tonight that the budget actually went up $10 million. It went up from $81 million to $91 million. You say, well, I thought it was only 58 point some odd million. All this talk you've been hearing is only about a portion of the budget. They took money from this portion that they want to talk about and put it in another portion. And then they say that the whole budget went down, which is not true. The budget went up $10 million is the way it is on paper right now. I asked about this in tonight's meeting, and Mr. Durham, his answer to that was $2.5 million of that is a grant. What about the other $7.5 million that the budget going up?
Mm-hmm. See what Jennifer said?
So they're being told, you're being told, you, the people of Oconee County are being told that the budget is going down by millions, while in actuality they're raising it by millions, and then they deny to come and be responsible to the people to answer these questions about it and say that they want us to just go away. Well, tell me what you think about that. Are you going to just go away? Are they going to spend your money? They're also asking for a $25 million loan. If the budget's going down, why do you need a $25 million loan? And why won't you tell us what that $25 million is going to go to? They told me they're not going to tell me at the last meeting. They said we're going to keep our secrets. We don't want to give our secrets out. That's your money. You're the one going to pay it back through taxes. Are you happy with that answer? Let me know. I'm going to let you go for now. This is it.
I want to thank Luke Moore once again for that wonderful, I think he said it best. I want to add a couple of things this evening here on the program. I have been watching this unfold since Tuesday night, and I can tell you that this is the most disingenuous group of county council members I have ever seen in my entire life. To have the chairman in the county council talk about the attacks on him, the attacks on his family, and then he brings his kids into it. There is no one from this radio show that has ever attacked his kids. Never. Let me make myself clear. Never. But you want to talk about attacks. Oh, woe is me. I'm being attacked. You signed up for this job. You signed up. You were a public official. What was it told to me in a conversation with David Nix, who called me, by the way?
How long did y'all talk?
Probably about 45 minutes.
Wow.
You got to
How
have thick
did you
skin.
do
You got
that?
wait a minute, wait, listen, hold on. Let me finish. You have to have thick skin.
I hope you took a shower after.
You have to have thick skin.
Mm.
The attacks. Well, let me say something. I ran against Don Mize last year. At no time did I ever get in a tit for tat with him personally.
Mm-mm.
Not on any social media, any video.
Nope.
I never, ever got into a tit for tat. But by God, the OCC did. The OCC tried to seek, search, and destroy. But it's thick skin. You got to have thick skin when you're in this game. Really, I never attacked the OCC during any of my running for campaign last year. I never once on social media. I let it roll off. Look at all the hurt and hateful things that Papa Smurf sent my way. The disingenuous stuff. But you want to sit up there in county council, woe is me, I'm being attacked. Well, you need to grow a set, sir, because you signed up for this job.
Mm-hmm.
You are the one that's the chairman. You signed up for this job. You've become disingenuous. Second all, well, no. You can respond afterwards. This is my moment.
All right.
Yep.
Second of all, Don Mize, great guy. I've had conversations. I've invited him on this radio show numerous times, and he's never come on. But I have a real big problem in your comments that you addressed to Jim Mann. And sir, I want you to know something, because I know that all of your people are listening. Let me tell you something. There's a bunch of people in Seneca that are pissed off at you, sir. Very pissed off. Go away. This budget is not complicated. It's just a numbers game. This group is lying to you. If you go and you pull the proposed budget, the whole total budget, you'll see the disingenuous of this amended budget. And then on top of that, this group wants to give them a pat on the back and the resolution. Look what Don and look what Glenn and what Matt done. They cut the budget. They did not cut the budget. They raised the damn budget by $10 million. But we just moved $2 million. No, you didn't. You raised it $7 total. If you take the $2 billion out for this grant, which, by the way, what is a grant? It's taxpayer dollars.
It's other people's money.
It's other people's money, Kathy.
That's
Oh,
right.
it's our money too.
But yet you sit here
Oh, it's not
and
the
you want
government's money.
all of Oconee County to think that you have the best interest at heart. Don, we're not going away, brother. Now, I'm going to ask you again. You're more than willing to come, and me and you can do an interview, and you can set the record straight. The ball is in your court. Now, the conversation I had with David Nix, there's a few things that we agreed on, but for the majority of them, I come to find the conversation, they're not going to change. The OCC is not going to change. They're hell-bent in creating their own and destroying their own. That's a fact. But I will say this, I got an apology. I got an apology because, Chris, you and I have talked about this, and this happened back in March of last year, that David Nix posted a comment, and believe it or not, our friend Roger Moore asked the question, what was the resolution for the Barty saga, Barty Gate, I call it, or as Chris calls it, Barney. This is what it boiled down to. He was wrong, but he kept saying that he never said it. But I'm going to tell you something. Facebook posts last forever.
Mm-hmm.
And he apologized because he was wrong.
Yep.
So I'm going to say this on this radio show, in this video for everybody that's watching. I accept your apology. I thank you for that apology. But even during the whole course of it, I never got upset. I never got mad. Finally, I want to talk about Glenn Hart. I grew up with this man and knew him. He went to school with my uncle. They graduated together. I had all of the accolades because of his history. He served in the Vietnam War. He saw things that a lot of us sitting here will never, ever know. Randy, you've seen a lot yourself because you served this country. And thank you for your service. Glenn, thank you for your service. But Glenn, you are the most disingenuous person I've ever seen. I don't know what happened. I have no idea. You grew up on that Utica Mill Village. Your roots was in Seneca. You grew up, you were a Seneca Bobcat. And somewhere down the road, something happened. Making statements in the Seneca Journal that you're not going to recuse yourself of Sewer South and, I got property and it's going to run by my property. You've made that statement in the Seneca Journal. And there's folks in Oconee County that are absolutely livid with that. I don't know what happened, Glenn, but I feel sorry for you because I did respect you at one time. You've done surveys for my family, for my father. You've been a property surveyor for years. You've done work for my father. I mean, the first person we ever called for surveying was Glenn Hart because we knew Glenn was the best. He would get the job done. But I don't know what happened. These are your people you grew up with in Oconee. Finally, my statement is concerning this OCC. You can remove Matt Durham as president, and I have met Mr. Cruz. I think Mr. Cruz is a great guy talking to him. You know, he's got a special needs daughter that I really enjoy. I've DJ'd for some of their groups, and she's the light of the party. But Mr. Cruz, I got news for you. If you don't fix the whole issue, you're just putting lipstick on a pig. Nothing changes. This is 2023. We should not have to worry about this infighting that's happening all through this Oconee County. This is not it. But this marketing plan to rebrand the OCC with 2,300 hell-bent on destroying and fighting and raising hell on everything. A little bit later on the show tonight, we're going to show you all of that. Your OCC VP is a vile, disgusting man. There is no other way that I can put it. Attack, attack, attack. You got to realize something, Mr. Cruz. People in Oconee County are tired. You have 80,000 people in Oconee County that are completely tired of the bickering. They're tired of the fussing. They're tired of the fighting. There's 80,000 people want to live in this county, wants to have a job. They want to be safe. They want to know that their tax dollars are being spent wisely and not being blown a line of hot air. Matt, when he ran for county council, he preached transparency. We're going to have an open and honest government. We're going to have line by line item budget. Well, it's kind of hard to do that when you write it the last second on a piece of toilet paper. But Mr. Cruz, I hope you succeed in the rebranding of the OCC. But until you address the whole issue, the OCC is still going to be the same old, and they're going to continue fighting and fighting, and they're going to continue spreading all the stuff, and you're going to have Perry on Facebook. And now you have, at one time, I respected David McMahon because he was a law enforcement person. I've known David McMahon for years. My wife grew up in the community, in the Kiwi community.
I bet she's got some stories.
Randy, I'm not going there. This is serious. I'm very serious. But I don't know what happened. David, you created your own problem because you tried to incorporate the hate, the viciousness, the infighting, because you wanted to go head on and you wanted to tackle, and you thought you were the savior of the Oconee Republican Party. But out of your own words, in January of 2022, I failed the party. So instead of getting on the Seneca Journal and just posting off the wall stuff, oh, the woe is me, why don't you look in the mirror, sir? You could be anything. You have this career in law enforcement. But yet we sit here, read it time in and time out. It's over. You're not the chairman. But you want to believe in a cause as being a conservative, and you want to move forward, but yet the spreading the vile, the hate, and all this other stuff. I know that I've taken up a lot of the show time, but this is something that has been leading up for months and months on my heart, that I had to say it. And I know no other way to say it except come out and just tell you how I feel. I'm 47 years old. I was born and raised in Oconee, and by God, I'll die here. I've seen us have absolutely nothing to have absolutely something. There's one person I am proud of what I've accomplished in my life. People don't know the roads I've walked and what I've had to do. By rights, I'm not supposed to be sitting here. But I want to tell you, I'm tired. I'm literally tired of every time I turn on, there's always something raising hell. There's someone cussing somebody out. There's someone, this is not the way that we're supposed to live. I'm done.
Well, I got to tell you, you didn't lose by 18. You weren't given the opportunity to win because of the primary. If you would have got to election day, I think that you'd have walked the dog over Don Mize.
It's not the part, Rainey, anymore about walking the dog over what. What's happened. But my problem is I still supported him. I did what I was supposed to do because I officially lost. I don't want to see anybody fail. But to make those statements, will you go away?
Yeah.
Has inflamed so many people.
I've been telling y'all all that from day one, that he was trash. And you guys have taken up for him, taken up for him, taken up for him.
He's not trash.
No.
I'm telling you,
he's not trash.
He is bad for the county.
Well, he's not trash.
As a politician, he's trash.
Well, that's a problem. He's not trash.
He bought into a
He bought into an organization.
into a bad organization.
An organization
and
that
organization is what is controlling the county. And they can say and do whatever they want to, but they're calling the shots. They're the shot callers. That is who is controlling the vote. And that is who they are voting for. They're not voting for the constituents. And that is plain and simple. And that is clear. That is crystal clear to anybody who's paying attention.
So, right.
Go.
So
Go ahead, Chris. I won't let you have.
Okay,
a comment.
so I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again with an update. Okay, I met Don. It was like day after New Year's before he was sworn in, and I told him, I introduced myself, and he'd known me from the show, and I said, "Listen, man, I hear what you're saying," and he said, "Just give me a chance." I said, "I will give you a chance, but you're riding the rail with these guys, okay?" And I said, "You're going to have to be your own man, or they're going to walk all over and they're going to drag you around." Now, I hear this stuff that's going on, and I can't tell you how disappointed I am. Now, Don is a good guy, and he might be overwhelmed with the way the OCC is. The OCC and this Cruz guy thinks they're going to change their stripes. That ain't going to happen. They may try to rebrand themselves because they're trying to push Durham for another role, but we all know what they are. And when David Nix calls you and he's so flip like, "Oh, I don't remember that." The thing about it is he basically damaged your reputation. I'm not talking from a legal aspect. I'm saying he said stuff that at your age with the reputation you built was horrible. And he's used slurs against me. And McMahon uses all this crap about being ex-law enforcement, and he couldn't hold a candle to any legit person in law. They're not worth it. This budget, they lied about the budget. They were sitting there mocking for a camera in front of everybody, basically giving the finger to everybody, to Elliot and these guys. They are crying like little babies because what did they do with Kane and Davis and Elliot?
They
in
did
front
this-
of their families.
They did the same thing. And,
No, worse.
and even before Matt Durham was elected to be on county council, all of these, that group talks about the videos.
Yeah.
Why don't you just go back and do a little research and just go back and watch the YouTube videos on your Oconee government and watch Matt Durham attack.
Okay.
Just when Wayne McCall was
Yeah.
still on as council for District 2, Matt Durham attacked hard. I mean, he attacked hard. It's all there.
But Jeff, this goes beyond that. They didn't just attack people. I'm a Democrat. I want a damn town hall. I want to ask them, what the hell? Why are you telling us that
I'm
he
an
doesn't?
independent.
I'm
I'd
not
like to
all
see a town
about
hall.
taking dollars out. I'm about doing smart things. They gave money to the police and the firemen, well deserved. But you probably have firemen and police that have wives and relatives working for county government. They deserve a raise.
Well, they do. I mean,
They do.
They do. And again, when you sit here and you take a look at all of this, there is no one here sitting at this table that don't believe a law enforcement officer doesn't deserve the money.
But McMahon said in a post 2 days ago that we didn't want raises. And my brother-in-law was a Chicago cop.
But
that was bullshit.
But I want to clarify something too when we talk about this: the disingenuous of the certain OCC VP making a post that they got bones from the previous council. That's just not true. They did get a raise. They went from 30-something thousand to 40-something thousand by that previous council, including Julian, John, Paul, Glenn, and Matt Durham. Partial.
This majority is running this county like it's a damn middle school association. It is really bad, guys. I don't trust anything they're saying. You've got this OCC group, and I'm telling you, and people kind of dance around it. These guys have done investigations on people.
That's true. They
They
did.
have gone and they've got like a PI to dig up dirt so they could throw these out to destroy good, decent people. I have a friend my age that Perry Smith had talked about where, well, I think I know where you're shopping. That was a veiled threat. This guy was so frightened that he went off of
Well-
Facebook. These are thugs. And when they act like that, they can't run a damn county. And they're not telling the truth.
Well, here,
But they need to put people
They
in
follow
jail
people.
that do these types of things.
Well, we've had this conversation before. And again, this is politics. And politics makes strange bedfellows. Randy, go ahead real quick.
so you said they run the county like middle school association. It's all fine and good that they gave all the firefighters in the county a raise.
That's right.
I'm
That's
happy
good.
with that.
Yes.
I've advocated for that.
That's
You
great.
know, I really think that's what's supposed to happen. But what I'm not happy about is the fact that Cornish Shiloh is going to have a referendum to create their
special
own
tax district.
special tax district because Glenn Hart won't advocate for the citizens in his district to give them a paid full-time firefighter at their station because they need it, because all the volunteers have got jobs and they got to get off from those jobs and get back, or you got to wait for somebody from Seneca or Westminster to come to come to your aid.
You have to look at that area too,
So-
Rainey. That area has grown exponentially.
Right. And if Glenn Hart cared about the county, he'd stop voting against stuff like that. He would take care of the people in that area.
At one time,
Well,
It's not a
and,
matter
and,
of
and here
understanding.
again, hate to be the squeaky wheel here, but bringing back someone who's former law enforcement should know that their job does not work without all of the support employees, such
Right.
as
Absolutely.
the dispatch that tells people where to go when there's an emergency.
But they pay them
And-
so little that by the
and
time they get
then-
trained, they're going to Anderson or Greenville or
right,
somewhere to
because they're
make
going to
real
get paid
money.
twice as much. Or then there's all the people that do the paperwork from the job that you just did.
Mhm.
So you've got all the people that process your warrants, all the people that the paralegals that are going to put together your case, and then you have the solicitors who are going to try your case. So yeah, all those people needed raises too, because if you compare them to the other counties, they're underpaid as well.
Well, now here's something I want to add.
But-
You all are correct. I sit here and agree with this, but now I'm going to act like if I had been elected. Okay. First of all of this is well and good, but here comes the issue. Let's talk taxes.
Well, before we do that, I want to say
Go
one
ahead.
thing from earlier. Luke's video, he brought up the $25 million bond.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
Agreed.
Here's the thing about a $25 million bond. When you buy a house and you have a $250,000 mortgage, you're going to pay back $686,000 over the life of that loan.
Right.
A bond is no different. If you borrow $25 million
Mm.
and you're only paying back and you've only got 4% interest on it over 25 to 30 years, we shouldn't be having a conversation about $25 million. We need to be having a conversation about $42 to $50 million. That's what we need to be talking about. Let's talk about the real price
But it's not
of
just
borrowing that
25.
money.
They're talking about going above.
So, and no matter how far above
So there you're close
25
to
they
100.
go, so if they want to go, what number, Chris? How much do you think they want to borrow?
Want to go up to about 35.
So if they want to go to 35,
They're already floating it. They float just like they did the 25 million. Now they're kind of,
well, but if so let's have a $35 million bond conversation. It's at 4% over 30 years. You're talking about 86 to $100 million.
Well, here's the question, Rainey, I want to ask. What's the bond for? We still don't know what we hear.
Here's the thing, Jeff, is whatever the bond is for had better be worth $100 million, not $25 million, 100.
they have an idea what they want to do with it.
Right? Oh, of course they do. They're just not going
But
to
they
tell
don't
us. But is it worth $100 million to our grandkids? Because 30 years from now,
The grandkids are going to be paying for it.
yeah, who's paying that 30 years from now?
Maybe, but the thing is, we don't know that because we don't even know what the risk level was in doing it.
And
At all.
But here's the thing: when they go to the street, when Mr. Durham and Miss Brock get to go on their little up to New York to walk it on the street and talk to people and solicit, say, who's paying for that trip?
We are.
How much is that trip going to cost?
I did have
Why
somebody
should
that
we
was
be
at
paying for that?
Tuesday.
Just for real, why should we be paying for that?
Because they represent us.
Well,
Well, they
had-
don't, but they do.
They
Tu-
don't.
Tuesday night in the county council meeting, I want you all to know, and for folks listening, they actually had 3 representatives that came from the companies that are looking for the bond to, to
Well, no,
issue.
that was those 3 people that were there. That one guy was the county's financial advisor. He's the one that coming up with these cockamamie schemes to get Matt the money that he wants or needs to do to destroy the county.
Are we
for
talking the same
future.
thing?
Yeah, the 3 people that sat in line.
Right.
There's a woman and 2 guys.
They
And two of them were attorneys, and one of them was the advisor. And he's going to help them walk it to the street. But the people that are going to buy it from him, they're not coming to Oconee County.
No.
They're just going to be looking at Moody's and saying, "Oh well." And here's the thing: is as soon as they start talking about this, the Moody's folks are going to start looking for us. They're going to look at the paper. And they're going to go to the Facebook page of the Journal, and they're going to read about McMahon, and they're going to read about Durham, and the credit rating is going to go. So all of a sudden, we're going to be paying back 9% in a 4% market just to get the money.
So let me just say a couple things to wrap up. Then
I want to move on to
interrupt.
this.
Okay, guys.
But am I wrong, Chris?
So here's the thing. You've got this OCC group. They say there's 2,300. I don't believe it, but that's okay. You can say that. They want to talk about conservatism. and they talk about that, and it's all about the money. And there are people that believe what they're saying. So let me just telling you from somebody that's in business for many years, they can say that all they want. What they've done is they have gone way above on this budget, and now they have millions of dollars that they are seeking money for, and they're already spending for their sewer south, and they didn't do something that all businesses and good government does, and that is understand the risk. And before I get off the subject, I want to just regress back to last week for one thing. We all watched that Aguilar tape.
Mhm.
Aguilar was at that restaurant before Durham walked in. He was there eating and decided to have that discussion. You had Mac Mahan going on Facebook this week using his retired
Mhm.
law enforcement to try to intimidate, but I don't think it works with him. But this is a crap he says, like, well, that sounds like stalking to me. Okay, first of all, he's a retired law enforcement guy, whatever that is. The guy didn't go to college, the guy didn't even go to law school. But you have people that fear the law so much, and why not? Are we getting a fair shake now? Do we even know? I mean, we had death threats and they didn't do anything. That he said that's the kind of crap you get from these 2,300 people if you're going to support that. More money, intimidation. And at the end of the day, if you think, and I don't believe this Cruz guy, I think he's just putting lipstick on a pig.
That's
He
exactly
knows
what
what
I
these
said.
guys are like. They're not changing their
Here's-
stripes at all. So why don't we just cut through that bullshit with these guys and say, yeah, nice try.
But
That's it. Thanks.
Here's the thing with Mr. Cruz. I don't know him personally. He seems like a decent guy.
He does. I mean, he
I
is.
do not align with his politics, obviously. But here's the thing. And if I were him and I wanted to start a conservative organization, I would start my own and start fresh and and start anew. I would not start with that because I do not
Why
think
not go
I
with the
do-
OCRP?
I do not think that. Well, I mean, if he doesn't align totally with the OCRP, that's his business.
Here's the problem,
And,
Kathy.
and my thing is, you cannot fix that mess.
But here's
I do
the
not believe
problem.
you can salvage or fix that mess.
Here's what's going on right
Who?
now. Why do we have to? What is the need? If the Republican Party, we all are conservatives. Well, allegedly some, but apparently this group thinks that we're rhinos in the Uniparty.
Well,
Well,
But my
that's what I
problem
was
is-
saying, if he does not align completely with those ideals, if he feels that they are not conservative enough, then he should make your own group. But I would not try to fix that mess.
Well, here's
Is what I was
So,
saying.
here's what's going to happen, and this is happening. This is the only time that I will mention national politics. This is not the only place that this is happening at
No, it's
in
absolutely
in
not.
national.
It's not
so-
the only place in the state either.
So what is happening across the country as a whole is that you're having these groups pop up that is creating this diversion. You know, it looks like we're about to have a third party system. I believe coming that there is going to be a third party system in this country. It's coming. The signs are already there. But it's really affecting family. It's affecting neighbors. It's affecting friends on our local level at the worst I've ever seen. We've never had in given memory that I've been alive, and I've been following Oconee for years with 30 something years in broadcasting. There is no time in recent memory that there's been an issue like this, that there's been so much decisiveness between your neighbor. Well, it's hate. Yeah, you're right.
Well,
it's hate.
it's divisiveness
Well, so-
because you can't
You can't have a conversation and discuss and agree to disagree.
yeah you know somebody can't be
well, you can, and I'll tell you why. Because Chris and I are sitting at the same table.
yeah we're all
right
sitting
now.
here.
We are.
So, but here's the thing. And India popped up there, and she said, "Clarify this. What we mean by this mess." Well, here's the thing. An organization that was formed to destroy the Republican Party can never be part of the party it tried to destroy. The only way that this divisiveness will go away is when the OCC goes away.
Cease to exist.
And as long as they hold on, there's going to be this problem. And as long as the leadership of the Republican Party placates to the 7 people that are ECs in the party that are still there to destroy the party, we're going to have this problem. It is now time for the leadership of the Republican Party to put a stop to it. They had their own booth, and I guarantee you they had absolutely nothing nice to say about the Republican Party at their booth here. And I know they had less to say nice about the Republican Party when they were at the veterans event, when there was nobody there to be near enough for them to hear.
You're speaking of Friday's event at the Apple Festival,
Right.
And
So-
again, you had the Republican Party here, and just one tent down, you had the OCC.
Yeah, you didn't see,
mean-
and when you walk by there, you didn't see any harmony between those two groups.
No,
So unless there's not going to be any harmony against when you have a group that was designed against the Republican Party. That was the meeting we went to. My God, the Republican Party's out of hand, and we're gonna take it over and fix it. Well, take it over and fix it meant destroy it.
But I've heard this from this group, even in
So-
the inception of the OCC getting started. And here we go. I'm bringing it up.
Uh-oh.
The damn lake people. That's actually where really a lot of this
The
started,
Isn't
because
it-
they were all upset because they felt that
But they're
all of the
pres-
lake people were running the Republican Party.
But they're presidents of lake people. So now isn't that irony for
Well,
you?
yeah, you know what that does.
So that's all out the window now. What I
but
wanted to
didn't
say,
Magma
that-
stupid? Don't he live on the lake?
a lake neighborhood is my
Mhm.
understanding.
I mean, he's got water that touches his property. He's a lake person.
Who?
Mhm.
McMahon?
Magma
Yes.
stupid.
He's got his
yeah.
own road.
Right.
So,
But then now Raul Cruz lives on the lake, right?
yeah,
Is he?
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, that's all out the window.
Yeah, but they don't care because the problem
But
is
you weren't
they
from-
agree with the politics.
But here's the thing: is
it's just
there's
just
a-
childish
no, but
bullshit.
there's a statement that McMahon said in the Facebook thing before I blocked this idiot ass. He said we need to start vetting the people that move here
to the state.
to
Oh, that's right.
to move to the state.
That's
Now,
right.
But here's the
That's right.
so
Woo!
here's the thing. Here's the thing about that.
You know, he can
the
kiss my
last,
ass.
but
Shit.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing I want to say about that.
yeah,
the
I forgot
last-
about that.
The last group and the last country that tried to vet the people in their country by what they thought, what they believed in, their ideology, started World War III. The Nazi Party wants to vet people by what they think and what they look like.
Yeah, need
Well,
to
to-
check the legislature
So-
for laws about such like that. Yeah, you can't do that.
So
Mm,
how?
No.
To,
not
I
a
mean,
thing.
we're 75, 77 years beyond World War II. We defeated Nazism all around the world.
Hey man, you said
You
it.
know,
Not a
We
thing.
we defeated that, and now it's. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. We got folks that want to dress up and act like they fighting the civil damn war again all the time. They holding on to all that hate, and anybody that moves in here,
They're-
moves in here
Mhm.
is against them in their own mind.
And it's not true.
What can
But,
I say?
No,
Something?
but
not at
the,
all.
the thing of it is too is also he likes to call, well, particularly like to call me hateful, and I'll tell you, and I'll just address that on the show, and then I'll leave it here. I hate bigotry. That's what I hate, and I will call it out, and I hate it. I don't like people who are unfair to other people. I don't like people who are unfair to poor people. I don't like people who are unfair to homeless people. I don't like people who are unfair to people of color, to trans people, gay people. I hate that stuff. So if you are a bigot, no, I don't like you. I'll pray for you that you change your
But
mind.
you love them though, right?
I love you,
I would
but
pray
I
for
don't
him. I
like
give a
it.
crap.
I hate bigotry.
But
y'all.
remember, love hurts.
And I have a real problem with that, and I will call it out. And when you run a group that says you don't like foreign traditions, and when you put things on your official page calling out and saying nasty things about gay folks when you're supposed to be representing a bunch of people and there are gay folks that you're supposed to be representing. Yeah, I don't like that.
I want to.
So I have things and feelings
Jeff, can
about
I say one thing
that.
about the booth?
Not yet, not yet. I want to go back to a comment that we just had come in, and I've just lost the comment. In Roger Norwood, and I love this comment. Most conservatives are compassionate conservatives. It's about spending the compassion.
Yeah.
And I love that because Roger, you're so correct. That's the conservatism that I love. And I think that's part of what's embedded in me because, yeah, I mean, I think us all collectively sitting here, all of us, we don't want to pay no more taxes than we have to. And before I go any further, go ahead and say what you've got to say.
Okay. All right. I just want to talk about my experience at the Westminster Apple Festival, only because it's important. So I went into the Republican booth. I met with David and everybody. I went right in. I was talking to them. I mean, these guys were great. I mean, our politics are different, but they're decent people. Now,
Did you get a set of them elephant earrings for Gladys?
No, I would
No,
have.
but I got my bracelet.
Did he? Okay, well, but I bet you guys didn't get what I got. So as I was walking, I didn't even know where the OCC was, but what was happening is I was coming up to the other side of the street, and I heard this cat calling, and you could hear him, and I kind of thought, what's going on? And I had my sunglasses on, and I kind of looked sideways. How you can see
hater blockers. Did you have them on?
I think they were, you could hear them. I think they were flirting with me. I mean, I was kind of like, they were,
Well,
and I'm like, so anyways, I just wanted to make sure I let everybody know.
We
that.
had a great show up into that point, thinking about Chris getting catcalled. Now, I want to talk about taxes, and I want folks to understand something here that right in front of us right here that we have pulled.
Oh, yeah, this is
Now,
great.
I'm not going to say, well, I am going to say, this is public record right here. So back in September of 2022, David Nix made a post, and he said that he got his tax notice, and they were 10% higher. They were 10% higher. That his taxes were outrageous. They were 10% higher. So here's what I've done. Just I wanted to see for myself.
Yeah, those are public records.
These are public records.
Well, he
Oconee,
must be paying a lot more now.
well, here we go. I want to start. Now, Randy, I'm going to let you do that one over there in just a second, but I'm going to start in 2018.
Numbers never lie.
Numbers never lie. And of course, the 4% for the legal
People do,
resident.
don't they?
I just want you to know, folks in Oconee County, when we talk about taxes, when I've preached this, that we have some of the lowest taxes in the state of South Carolina. So let me go ahead. We're going to start in 2018. Mr. Nix paid $1,297. That is 2018. 2019, he paid $1,354. 2016 was $1,310. So we're going to go on next. I believe is going to be 2020. $1,354. 2021 was $1,342. So the taxes actually went down in 2021. And in 2022, this last year, $1,351. Y'all care to comment on that?
Bill?
No, I just like to laugh.
I got a good one for
You
you.
just like the math.
Laugh. I like to
Oh, I
laugh.
thought you
So
said I like the math.
I wanted to bring that to your attention. That's not 10%.
No, not at all.
No, not close.
Okay, Rainey, what you got over there?
All right, so this property,
Whose
well,
is that?
we won't talk about whose it is. We'll just argue that it's over on Brookside Drive.
No, it's not. No,
Was
that's
it?
nope. That's not. That is that's a piece of property in Seneca, South Carolina.
All right, where's the property at on here?
That's the property in Seneca, South Carolina. That's just the mailing address where the tax bill
Well,
goes to.
That's fine. The house is the mailing address for the house is 130.
No, it's the same.
Where's it at on here? I don't want to talk about something that's not true.
It is true.
Hilltop Drive.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. I see a property description address. This is at 412 Hilltop Drive.
Now I will tell you that's a 6%.
Hold on.
I need to explain that.
I got it. All right. This is a 6% valued house. This is an investment property valued at $118,000 and $118,640 is value. In 2017, the taxes on that was $1,977.94.
And understand that's
Now,
6%.
Then in 2018 it went up to $2,005.70. So that's like $30 it went up.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference in 2017 and 2018 was it joined the city of Seneca.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it went up, not because there was a huge increase in the millage.
Bingo.
Then in 2019, well, 2019 is not here. That's 2020. We skipped 2019 is not in there.
It is. You just have to go through it.
But anyways, 2020, the taxes on that property was $2,047.71. Then in 2021, it actually went down to $2034.89. So it went down.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2022, it went up to $2074.42. So it went up $40. But from 2017 to 2022, even joining the city of Seneca, the grand total increase in taxes for that property was $96.06.
And we want to hear that they want to cut taxes. They want to cut that our taxes are too high.
My question though is, did Seneca expand in 2016, 2017, or did the city not build city taxes because the house didn't move?
Well, basically, okay. So when you look at that and you look at what this over here, it's just bullshit. Is what it is.
Well,
it's just political.
It's another example.
But
They talk about dealing in facts. They talk about facts. You got to have facts.
listen,
Can't we talk about the other one that we pulled?
Well, we pulled another one, but I don't have the sheet. Somebody it's
Right,
gone.
but it was about $15 difference over about 4 years.
Yes.
And the guy.
These are the people that have complained that
the guy
their
that has his own
taxes
road.
that taxes have went sky high.
You mean they lied?
Yes.
See, because
Yes.
the
Yes.
thing is we all live in Oconee. We aren't getting different tax raises because we all live in the same county.
Here's the thing that bothers me the most is that 2,300 people that they say they got in the OCC.
I was going to say, go ahead.
How many of those people actually own homes and have to pay property tax? If they're really if they believe they're bullshit, it's because they don't pay taxes and they don't understand what they're paying.
Well, what happens is these guys create a narrative.
Right.
And that narrative plays to these 2,300, their personal biases. Now, when they feel like they may be losing them, then they change their narrative slightly so they can bring them in. But they have one thing they use, one tool, and you can see it, and it's used nationally. They cater to the innate hate that they have for some people, whatever it is. That is the tool they use. But just like what they did when Elliott and Kane and Davis were on council in the majority, they beat these guys, degraded them in front of them.
God, yes.
It was horrible. But now you got now you have taxpayers legitimately saying, guys, you're telling us you're lowering, you're raising, and it's like, why? What are they going to leave us alone? Yeah, big babies.
But here's the thing about it, Chris. When we're tied to $100 million in debt, we're going to have to raise taxes to pay that. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but year number 3, we're all going to see triple. We're all going to see triple-digit increases to our taxes. We're all going to be up $100. You know what? And for you guys, Chris, like you are on a fixed income, $100 will hurt.
It sure will. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But then they'll have to levy a larger tax on those $5,000 cars that all their constituents are driving, and then they're going to have to pay taxes.
But here's the thing: they will, what they're going on with Sewer South and these bonds, it will go up. But the first time you have a major infrastructure implosion with emergency fixes that could literally cost several $1 million, it's coming.
Well, when you quadruple the size of the sewer and you're not building any other treatment plants, we're going to have all kinds of
Guys,
problems.
what's going to happen?
Listen, here's another deal. And I've said, I don't know if I've said this to you all before. Maybe I have. We're actually paying for the sins of many councils ago.
Yes.
We're literally paying for the sins of councils way before what we have now, because there was a lot of things that were neglected and overlooked for a period of 8 to 10 years where previous councils kicked the beer can down the road.
Wait, you got that?
But wait a minute. Hold on. They kicked that can so
Okay.
hard. They did not give employees raises.
Right.
Okay.
They did not talk about infrastructure. They would build buildings. Now, this is something that just totally blows my mind. You know, we had this conversation about the Golden Corners Commerce Park. Many years ago, about 15 years ago, we had the habit of building spec buildings. Do you remember this, Kathy? That we
Vaguely,
would spend
yeah.
$500,000 and we would build a spec building in hopes of economic development, and the buildings would sit empty for 2 to 3 to 4 years. So that's what we actually kind of paid for. And that's the deal about Golden Corners Commerce Park. That's supposed to be the golden child. Everything, that's all three. We got 3 people. I will tell you, there ain't no damn body coming to the Golden Corners Commerce Park.
Well, so you're repeating the same thing.
You're repeating it over and over.
But let me just
You've
say,
got your mind set that you got to have sewer
Right.
at exit 1 and 2. Now, in the deal about sewer, you knew it was coming tonight.
Yeah.
I am all for exit 4.
we all are.
That is development property. But if you go back to what was in the paper, who stands to make money off of Sewer South? He said it in the newspaper,
Mhm.
in
But he
the
doesn't
journal,
care.
and he doesn't care whatsoever.
Who? I know there was a guy.
You know
in-
who
But
it
wait.
was.
Well, wait, I
Wait,
know there
I
was a
don't-
guy in 2018 that said on video,
Mhm.
because he was chairman of the Transportation Commission.
They
He
have
said
that still?
he said at the hour mark of 1:51, he said his goal in 2018 was Sewer South.
And why was that?
Exactly. Why?
I
why
just don't
is
know how we can sit here
Well-
and talk about all this stuff
No,
when
well-
there is a man who wants to have a billboard and can't have it.
Right.
Yeah.
But remember, he's going to run again because he doesn't want to turn this over to any
no?
rookie.
There you go.
Well, what he doesn't want is somebody with a set of morals and ethics to come in and put a stop to the shit show he's created.
Okay, so let me just say one thing, because
But
Jeff,
remember, there's a
you have
dude
told
that
this
really needs
many
a billboard
times.
and can't get it.
Jeff has told me this many times. He said, "We're paying for the sins of the past."
Yes.
You said it, and I've always told you.
I just
okay,
can't believe that taking $2.5 million from McDonald's wasn't enough for them corrupt bastards.
okay. Well, anyways,
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead, Chris. Go
okay.
ahead.
I've told you in the past. Okay, so they're paying for the sins of the past. Okay, now I'm going to tell you exactly what happened to me when I got a new job, and I inherited a job that I had all kinds of shit going on. And if I went into my boss after 6 months or a year, and I was getting, my hiney chewed, and I said, well, so and so, he's going to say, what in the hell did I hire you for if I didn't already know? We know we have these problems. We know people kicked it down the road. What do? These people were voted in to fix it. That meant they had to make hard decisions on the budget. They had to spend money where they should. They had to cut it where people were playing favoritism. That was their job. So when they start talking about, oh, geez, it was back then, it's like, then what in the hell did I vote you for if you're that weak that you can't do your damn job?
Okay.
Right?
Right. All right. Real quickly, I want to mention something. This may affect, I told a few people, if you're a conservative member or conservative, enjoy conservative talk, I wanted to let you know you're about to lose your conservative radio station. 94.5 WGTK has been sold. Salem Media Holdings sold the station back in mid-August. It was announced just a couple of weeks ago. That does include Joey Hudson. Now, Joey Hudson is their morning show guy at 94.5. He actually lives up on Lake Kiwi over here. So I know that a lot of our folks listen to conservative talk radio, and I hate to tell you, it is gone. The new company that's coming in is called Education Media Foundation, and they are responsible for creating what they call it's a Christian contemporary radio station called K-Love. They have a close to 60 or 70 all across the United States. And I believe that's going to be a huge loss because there is a good need for a conservative talk radio. I don't consider 98.9 WORD to be conservative anymore. If you like conservative talk radio, I just don't like what they're doing.
Well,
So anyway.
Go ahead. I've got to interject something.
Okay.
In a little bit.
Anyway, I wanted to pass that along. Go ahead, Kathy.
I just saw a comment. I've not been reading the journal, but I just happened to see a comment. And Mr. McMahon put up that we do not want deputies to have a raise. And I just want to reiterate that is a lie.
What did we just say?
We want deputies to have a raise.
What did we just say
We
not
just-
more than
yeah.
a few minutes ago?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate, we absolutely want deputies to have a raise. We
So
just want
somebody said-
everyone.
Not on our page. This is on the journal.
We just absolutely want
Oh, yeah, that
everyone
was-
to have a raise.
We certainly want everyone to be paid fairly.
We said
Everyone
that.
needs to
It
be
doesn't.
paid
It doesn't mean
fairly.
a raise. Just pay them fairly.
Pay them the market value or the market,
Yes.
what the market's calling
Absolutely.
for. But then
Hey,
again,
you know what?
if you do the market, if you really go through and you have this study, which I don't believe will happen, even though they say it, if you believe that they do that, you are going to be shocked when it comes back. Then they're really going to go, oh my God, you want to talk about taxes having to go up?
Yeah, but
That's a-
but at least one of them's counting on they're going to be at a different job and they won't worry about it. That's true. That's
Well,
true.
I tell you,
And that's because they don't care.
well,
Well,
here's
let's go. I want to say one thing about that conservative talk radio. I used to listen to that. I'd listen to it every day, but I had to quit when all it was
5 minutes of commercials
It
every
not-
5 seconds.
it was always about a commercial,
Mhm.
and it had nothing to do except for some screaming about how
Welcome,
pitiful that Donald Trump was being
welcome
treated. I was
to
like,
the
good
world
God
of
Almighty.
how radio operates. You
So why
try to
don't you
get
put me on the
60
show?
commercials in
I'm
one
telling
segment.
you, what's the truth? That is nuts, and if we got to come to that, we just quit.
No, I'm old school because we will never come to that. I mean, you're not the max commercials you have in a break's 3 minutes. That's it. You
But
don't
that's
have,
why-
they have
but-
5 total.
But here's the thing: I believe that's why that they had Caleb had an opportunity to buy them.
Well, the problem is the market is oversaturated right now with Christian radio. You've got his radio in Greenville that has 5 different radio stations in South Carolina.
I sure hope a lot of people are listening to Christian radio. We need a
Well,
we need
but,
some.
but his
You're losing a
radio,
lot.
but his radio is more. It's not for profit status. This is going to be operated as a commercial. That's the difference. If you're
Right.
going to be a Christian radio station, you need to operate as a not for profit status. Like, for example, the Life FM, and I know you're talking my language now. 103.1, which used to be the old WRIX, they're now not for profit, but they're Southern Gospel radio station. Okay. We're here at what time is it right now? It is 8:04.
We need to
so
give
we
them-
have a couple just to
Go ahead and do your stuff because I really want to get to the Journal Facebook
Well,
post. I want
okay,
to
so let me-
highlight this
real
tonight.
quick. The Hike for Hope is
Yes.
September 30th
Yes.
out at Blue Ridge Co-op. September 30th, the Hike for Hope. This is Suicide Prevention Month,
Yes.
and we all need to be engaged and be thinking about our folks that are around us who have lost someone to suicide.
Yes.
That and it's not like that's ever going away. Mental health is our number one crisis in America, no matter what anybody else has to say about it.
if you have never had
And-
anybody that you've known that's like that or done that, what they don't understand, the people that head towards that route, whether they achieve it or not, they must be in pain that none of us will never
But
understand.
I tell you what,
But
it's
a
a
disease.
that's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. But the
But
pain,
they're also
the
not thinking
pain,
straight either.
the pain that they leave behind is permanent.
Yeah, it is.
And if you're out there thinking about that kind of thing, if you're thinking about suicide, call your mama, talk to her, and let her know how you're feeling. Because she's gonna tell you she loves you, and she don't want that to happen.
Or your dad, or your friend, or your sister, or call
Just call
call
somebody.
anybody.
The
Call
point of
anybody.
this, call somebody.
Call
Yes.
somebody.
Because
Yes,
what you're
because it
fixing
is
to
not
do,
going to be better with you dead. A lot of people think that it's better with me gone. It is not going to be better because
You-
you take your life.
you have no idea. As a recent service member, I retired in 2016. The amount of nights that we would stay up with someone
Mhm.
who was going through this trouble, and their trouble was thousands of miles away, being a burden on them in a war zone, and they were trying to end it here because of whatever was over there. And if you're have a long distance relationship with a child, with a spouse, with someone else, you cannot end your phone calls in anger. You have got to figure out how to show compassion. And no matter how you feel, if you leave that on a bad note, it'll destroy you forever.
Because PTSD is real.
Well, veteran suicide is real.
Mhm.
At the 22 a day, 23 a day, the number's rising. It's not going down. It's getting
Right.
worse.
Well, I think also too, not only is that, but the just regular Joe Blows out on the street. It's happening every day
It's-
because we're seeing more and more stuff. There's less and less help.
So
Nobody, that's the problem.
if you're really interested in helping the community, it's not going to be found in politics.
And it's not going to be selling or giving away smoke detectors either.
No, get your ass down to Blue Ridge on September
It's
30th
called empathy
and-
and compassion.
and the Hike for Hope, and learn something, reach out, help somebody.
Hey, there before the God, but before the grace of God go I. It can happen to anybody.
All
People
right.
think it can't. Okay, so
Go ahead, Chris, because we
okay,
got
so
to move on.
I've done some sleuthing, and I want everybody to understand this. Every time we talk about taxes and everything, people always have issues with the roads and the potholes. We all know that. And then they bring it up to the council, and I mean, it is a very touchy. But I want to let you guys know facts, and you can check it out yourself. We have a transportation commission that is charged with gathering information and then advising council of what needs to happen. And the first thing you see with these OCC guys is say, well, not all our roads are county. A lot of it's state. Well, that's okay, that's fine. But that's mostly bullshit. So let's talk about this transportation commission, because my friend Glenn Hart is the chairman of this transportation commission. And if we look at 2018, here's some of this data. So in 2018, they met 4 times. In January 9th, 2018, Chairman Hart said his goal was sewer south. He said that on video at the 1.51 mark, almost at the 2-hour mark. Think about that. 2018, he's already talking about sewer south. Now, remember, this commission has to deal with roads and bridges, which is potholes, etc. In 2019, they met 4 out of 6 times. They canceled 2 meetings. Now, remember how critical this is to everybody in the community and how much we talk about it. This is what you need to talk to your councilman about. 2020, all meetings were canceled. Well, we had COVID too, but there were Zoom calls available, and magically other committees met. They did, but not this. The chairman decided it wasn't important. Now, the budget committee met 3 out of 5 times in 2020. Law enforcement met 3 out of 5 times in 2020. The Planning and Economic Development Commission met 3 out of 5 times in 2020. The real estate facilities and lead management met 2 out of 6 times. But the transportation, which covers road and bridges, did not meet once. Glenn Hart's the chairman. So now we know who is causing the problem with our roads in Oconee County that are county owned.
Can you
Now,
say
wait
it
a minute.
louder? There's people that
No, I
didn't hear.
want people. Jeff tells me get near the mic. 2021.
Glenn
They
Hart
met-
is the
They
problem.
met one time in 2021 in February. One time.
But can't turn it over to a rookie.
All other committees were active and met in 2021. In 2022, they met 2 times and they canceled 2 times. Okay. Now, here's the best thing. So here we are. We're in September 2023. They have not met once. Okay, guys. Glenn Hart, chairman of the Transportation, County Roads and Bridges, they have not met one time this year. No meetings are scheduled for the rest of the year. Think of that. No meetings so far. No meetings scheduled. Every damn time you drive on that road and you get clobbered, and everybody says they do with the potholes and everything, or bridges, it's Glenn Hart's issue. Now,
He's on a roll.
Woo.
He's on a roll. He's
now,
about as bad as me. He's
he's-
on a roll.
Glenn Hart's been chairman since 2018, and everybody knows what has happened to the road since that time. Okay. Now, the transportation, they don't really control the money, but it's their responsibility to get in the faces of the council and lobby for the funding. Okay. Now, could you see Glenn Hart doing that with Master Durham looking at him where he's saying, listen, man, you got to make me look good. I don't want to spend any
Can
money.
I add something to what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Hold on. When you go back to Tuesday night's council meeting,
Mhm.
it's interesting you'd bring that up because there was 2 people that came up before public comment session and was discussing their roads that they had an issue.
Absolutely.
And what was said, the chairman, and I believe, don't quote me, but I believe, make sure we, Ms. Brock, make sure we get that on the list to fix. Matt Durham said that.
Yeah, but
Matt Durham did?
But
okay.
here's the thing about Matt.
Not Glenn. Not
No.
Glenn.
But here's the
no.
thing about Matt Durham. The road that goes behind his house is a county road. It's got nine families living on it, and it's impassable by a county school bus.
No kidding. Okay, but
His
anyways,
kids don't ride the bus.
okay.
Well,
so,
it's not a bus that goes from
so we
Mountain
got other
Rest
things
to
to talk
Ravenel.
about, and we have to
Well,
wrap this up.
I'm just saying it doesn't matter because his
Right.
kids don't ride
So,
I
bus.
know.
Jeff, I need
get
to
it.
I need to wrap this up,
Yeah,
right?
'cause I
don't
wanna get
want to
onto
take all the
this.
time because we're pushed for time, but I want everybody to understand. Glenn Hart is the chairman of the Transportation Committee that's responsible for county roads and bridges. He has been since 2018. He's canceled a lot of meetings. He doesn't do crap with it. So when you guys hit a pothole, you remember Glenn Hart said in 2018, his number one priority was Sewer South, and he loves billboards. So what in the hell does he do with roads and bridges? There you go.
But here's the thing, Chris. Here's the thing you're not going to believe. Where do they put in that sewer line?
What did you say?
Where are they putting that sewer line?
Boo boo.
Right down, right down the road. Right.
I thought you said, what are
So
they
wait a
putting that
minute.
sewer
No,
line?
no. Are you telling me they're putting that sewer line in front of his property?
No,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're going to use roadways as places to run the sewer line, just like they do the water line. So,
Kathy, you on a roll
Mr.
too tonight.
Mr. Transportation Committee, it's just going to screw up the rest of the roads in the county for the foreseeable future
Oh
with
my
this
God.
sewer project.
All right, but Randy, in case you don't know, it is Glenn Hart. the
Let's mean
chairman.
you sit back, Kathy, because this is good.
He's chairman of the commission.
Yeah, he's
for roads and bridges. Glenn Hart,
and
who
his
says he wants to turn this over. He doesn't want to turn it over to a rookie. That's an example of being
I'm-
disingenuous and basically, when you look at them, what they said to Luke Moore, it was 100% bullshit, and that's why they don't like our show. Am I right?
Hey, you're absolutely right.
All
And
right.
hey, you know, and I had rumor this week that Don Mize is seeking counsel on how to cancel our show.
Oh yes, ladies
to
and
do what?
gentlemen.
He
You
wants to
yes,
cancel our show.
There is a rumor, and Glenn. I mean, Don, you welcome to let me know. But this came from high sources, and I have been approached by several times by several people in the immediate Seneca community. hey, Jeff, what is Don trying to do with your show? We enjoy it, but we heard that he's trying to have it canceled. He's wanting to see what the county can do to shut Let's Talk Oconee down.
Hey, you know what they say about a hurt dog? Hurt dog's gonna holler.
Well,
Sounds to me like they don't like the truth.
Well, you know,
hey, I've been telling you guys about this
I
guy
told you long
from the
before you did.
beginning.
let's,
That you
let's-
guys wanted to give him a chance.
Jeff,
Give him a
Jeff,
chance.
He's interrupting.
He
you,
doesn't
Jeff. Go
want to
ahead,
hear
Jeff.
from you.
but I did. I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I told you I was going to give 7 to 8 months, and then I would let you know. But I didn't have to say
I thought it
anything
was 6.
because look, he made the statement Tuesday night. There is no denying.
All I want you to do, Jeff, is say, Randy, you were right.
You right about what? You didn't even know he was a chairman of the Roads and Bridges.
I'm not talking
Commission.
about that nitwit. I'm talking about the other nitwit.
All right, I apologize. You were right.
Stay in the
Randy.
game. Thank you.
You were right, Randy, that he is responsible for the roads and
Yes.
bridges.
You want me to tell you how I feel?
Sure.
You ain't gonna make it.
Who is it?
Don is not gonna make it.
Don is
you
a
know
good
why?
man.
Because he doesn't have a billboard.
Oh my God.
Well, now, let me be
but-
honest when I say that. I don't think there's a path for him to be successful to represent District 3. Maybe he does need to get a billboard.
He needs a
What's it going to say? You will put it up. It says, "Welcome to the shit show."
No, he's gonna put it up. Y'all leave me alone.
Yeah, but you know what though? He's
No,
getting
I mean-
pounded by the OCC.
All,
But
all he's
here-
got
but-
to do. Wait a minute. All he's got to
Oh,
do is
God.
come out and say, "quote I am not associated with the OCC." And just like
He needs to tell them to leave
Moore,
him alone.
Luke Moore went ahead and reposted the interview that he did before he was elected. You know, Luke interviewed me and Luke interviewed Don. And in that interview with Luke Moore, he said, "I'm my own man."
Yeah, okay.
That's not true.
But you know,
Yeah,
there's
you're
a
right.
couple other things I've actually called him out too. I said, "Well, I saw you hugged up to Perry Smith." Well, I don't remember that. Well, there's a picture of him high-fiving or shaking hands or Perry coming over and patting him on the back.
I
twice.
bet you.
Then
I bet you his wife balances their checkbook. That's why he's having such a hard
Well,
time with the budget and explaining it.
look,
Maybe she can do it.
I'm
Hey,
just
can we talk about this picnic coming up real quick?
Yeah.
What picnic?
I really need to get to
Okay,
this.
all
Hey,
right, all right.
hey, the Republicans.
But we
is
will be
fixing
able to,
have a
right? You'll
doozy
let
of
us
a
do that though,
fundraiser.
Jeff? You'll let us say something about that?
Go ahead and do that.
Okay, Kathy, and then
September 17th.
September. What happened September 17th?
September 17th. OCDP is having
The
their annual,
Oconee County Democratic Party is having their picnic
at 4 o'clock.
at
South
4
Cove.
o'clock.
Yes.
Yes, and they're being very very selective on who they let in.
Are they going to
Randy wanted to go, but they wouldn't let him in.
They're vetting people
That's
on
not
what they
true.
think. They're vetting people.
No, they're using the pupils of
Because
people
they
when
only
drive
will
by.
let woke people in, and they will measure your pupils because they have this special machine. Marianne told me it's called a pupil mama meter or something like that. It measures your pupils, and I am woke. I am so woke. I wear sunglasses when I go to sleep. So there you go.
All right, I can see it now. We're gonna get a billboard, and there's the picture of the face of Let's Talk Oconee right
Better
there.
believe it.
Hey,
Um,
and you know
Better
what?
believe it.
Now we're gonna say
But
something.
again, the
Randy,
17th.
we're gonna talk about
4
hours,
o'clock.
right?
So I don't know where they're at in the planning stages, but I think October 6th, Drew McKissick has been invited up here to talk to a very limited.
Boy,
amount
the
of people.
OCC hates
So-
that.
Actually, they
What
all
kind of meeting-
voted.
What kind of meeting?
They
is
all
this?
voted 100% with it. To have a steak dinner and listen to Drew McKissick.
Who's going to do this?
The Republican Party up there at the depot in
Mhm.
Walhalla on
What if
October
you're woke?
6th.
Could you come if you're woke?
You'll be broke when you leave. What they charging?
Is it for how much?
It's $75 a person or 60.
70. I'm going
Look,
to
Yeah,
sleep.
62.50
$75.
for-
I have to say this, and I may piss off some people, but
All
that's okay. I've done that before.
Mm.
I don't know who come up with this for our Republican Party, but they really need to take another look. $75 and you're wanting people to become a part. That's not a fundraising thing that you're doing.
That's like blue blood money.
You know, $30, great price, I believe.
Yeah, because we're the common man.
God, here we go.
We are.
But I
That's
have a
right.
problem with that, and I think you and I have discussed that.
Well-
I have no $75 is absolutely insane.
Well, I mean, I talked to everybody in my
What kind of
precinct about it,
steak?
and they were
Really?
We might go
Completely
What
upset.
kind of steak? Am I right?
so it's supposed to be prime rib.
Prime rib.
I got
But
a
anyway.
crock pot, man. I can make barbecue sandwiches.
I had barbecue.
Randy,
yesterday.
I'm just sorry. I just have a problem with that. I just
Well,
don't believe
Who's
that
going to
to
speak,
be.
Randy?
So
McKissick,
the
right?
the co-chairman of the Republican National Committee,
Who?
the co-chairman
I don't know
of the
who that is. That's a
Republican National Committee, Drew McKissick,
I'd probably charge.
number
I'd
two,
charge less.
the
than him to
number
speak.
2 Republican in the United States is coming here, and they only want 70 people to visit.
Well, my question is, who's going? Which group? The Democrats, the Republicans, are going to have the brownies?
Yeah, right.
We're gonna have brownies.
I figured that. All right, can I
So-
get on to this real
Yes.
quick?
Yes, sir. Randy's the one cutting you off.
No, no, we had to. I
You
had to
asked
say
about
that.
that.
I really had to say
Hey,
that because
did you see this here? Though? I won't show it to them, but how far did she have to bend over for him to be able to be that much taller than her? I bet she could absolutely win the limbo championship.
All right, are y'all ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Are you got the cameras up so y'all can see us as we go along? I just wanted to know if y'all got them so you can see some of
Oh,
this.
is that old Frankie?
Yeah, this is Frankie.
You know what? He sat down there and
So-
talked to us for a damn hour at the Apple Festival. That was the best hour of my life.
It was
What's
it
that?
was a good conversation. It really was. It was a good conversation.
That's
So
a wardrobe change.
this is the most fun moment of tonight's show. I wanted to share this.
Ooh, oh, Lord.
So the
Biggie.
conversation starts yesterday at 8 a.m. Yes, I have a hidden agenda. It's for the betterment of this county. I'll give Frankie that.
Turn
So
your
you
volumes
got to
down.
turn your volume down while you're watching this. So, we had a great conversation with him at the Apple Festival.
All
So here it comes. Thank you, Frankie, for looking out for the land rights. We appreciate that. Dash OCCVP. And there's only one like. So there you go.
That one, like,
So
it was probably him.
So this is a rumor, or we don't know. It is or it isn't. We don't know. But Luke asked him a question. Perry Smith, heard you're no longer VP. Is this true?
Is that true?
Well, let's just keep on. Here we go.
I didn't know.
I hear you're still a nobody. This is from Perry Smith. Mini man, I know that's true. Luke, Perry Smith, nope. So are you VP or is that a lie? Perry Smith. Luke Moore, did you run off on your wife and children with the mother figure or is that a lie? Had a guy tell me all about you.
I bet you this
Now,
to get real good.
Are you deadbeat dad to mini man? Luke Moore. Perry Smith, no, sir. I'm actively raising my children well. I've held positions on the School Improvement Council for the last 2 years, also the parent advisory for the school district. Then I'm going to let you read the rest because I don't want to be accused of any other things there. You should be sure before you spout off your boyfriend's information. A deadbeat would be the type of guy to nearly kill people with a trailer not connected properly to his truck and deny any responsibility.
Who did that?
Yes, we all know
Who
all
did
about that. So it just
What a
goes
piece of
on. It
shit.
just keeps going on and on and on. And then he talks about you're considered a piece of trash and fair play. I knew, though. I doubt you're raising your children in that pop-up. Hopefully their mother is getting their child support. And it just keeps going on and on and on. Try to stay on topic, mini man, Perry says. Well, here it comes. Luke comes back and says, Perry Smith, stay on topic. You're not the VP. Laugh out loud. The OCC is trying to rebrand itself, and you're no longer in the lead role, Perry. You lied in your comments, and it's proven. LOL. You have nothing, so you try and smear. Have another donut. Then it gets even better.
Yeah,
Luke
he
Moore.
eats his donuts at
It
Harbor
just
Freight.
keeps getting better. What have you done to?
Apply.
Now, and this
Yeah.
is a serious question. Here it is, and I give Luke compliments and accolades for this. What have you done to better Oconee lately?
Or at all. Ever.
Bumping your gums doesn't count.
Well, has there been a time that he's left it?
Well, I think that's an interesting question. What has Perry done to better Oconee lately?
Well, he spent a lot of money at Harbor Freight.
Every day
Perry Smith.
that he
He sure
exits
does.
it and goes to Anderson County,
Exit lights.
he's done us a favor.
And then, of course, Luke all through this whole thing is very responsive, very respectful for the whole thing. He just keeps on. And then Luke, of course, Raul, would you please handle this as the new president? You said you wanted to change the direction of the OCC, and as president, this is your first test. Everyone is watching. So here's the answer. Perry says, Luke, actually Lug, L-U-K, I'm part of the BOD. Not sure I was removed from anything, but you keep thinking that. No one even wants to talk to you now. You made yourself out to be a fool, and, Daddy helped you Tuesday. He will pay you to cut his grass. He didn't even write this because he could barely read it, and it just keeps going on and on. My point of showing this is this is the whole problem right here. This is why the OCC will never, ever be able to rebrand himself.
So what you got, they talk about all, like you got Beckham and those guys talking about these 2,300 people. This guy is a cancer to this organization. What the hell they do? Why don't they get rid of him? And I can guarantee you it's because they're afraid of what he's going to do. I got news, man.
Could you imagine the shit he would say about them if they told him he had to go away?
I'd throw his ass. It's like, buddy, you're done. Get out of here. I'm going to come and get
no, but the type of people they are. You know who they are. Just think of all the dirt he's got on them.
Hey, man, nobody gives a crap after you're 18. Once you get to a certain age, it's not about who can beat who up.
I just wanted to point it out as someone that has done a lot of marketing, and there is no way that you'll ever be able to
who's done the marketing? What marketing? Who?
Me. I have marketed radio stations.
Oh, you. Okay, I thought you meant that. Okay, I'm sorry.
What? And the question is, I still would like to have an answer. What has Perry done for Oconee County?
Nothing.
Tell me what David Nix has done for Oconee County.
Nothing. Now, put those two together because David Nix admitted that he used Perry to intimidate and bully people.
That's right.
That's what they've done for Oconee County.
Tell me let's be honest here. Tell me what Don Mize so far has done for Oconee County. Nothing. Don Mize didn't start voting until 2020.
Well, that is exactly what I was.
You mean for council?
Tell me what these. Tell me.
But
again,
if you take a look at every one of those folks in the OCC, you'll see that they all have very, very sparse voting records.
But tell me what.
And I want to say this because they're going to go look at mine.
You moved here.
But here's the thing: for 20 years of my life, I was in the military, and I voted absentee.
Right.
Well, here's the problem with voting absentee in the military: our votes only get counted if it's a close tie. So I've got a real big problem with people that say, "Hey, we only want you to vote in person at a ballot box." Well, the people that are defending your damn country can't be there to do that. And we need to get off of this stupid idea of pencil and paper voting and come up with a system where every American who's eligible to vote can vote from wherever they're at.
Well, I just wanted to point it out. As far as marketing, you're never going to be able to rebrand yourself as long as you have people such as that right there continuing to make comments over and over, and the attacks and the hatefulness. You'll never be able to rebrand yourself as a legitimate voice of conservatism.
And don't forget Durham.
Well,
he might not be on there.
No, that's true.
We know the kind of crap he says.
Well, Durham was brought on by somebody that's wanting to try to have a debate with us, by the way.
Who's that?
We haven't figured out why he wants to have a debate.
Who wants to have a debate?
I got a text message the other day that said this man who said he wanted to knock the spit out of my mouth a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
wants
that.
to have a debate with me.
This is the one that's going to cut the trees down because we talked about him.
But but here's the thing: he's a has-been. He's got no part in this anymore.
Well, he's older, isn't he?
Yeah, and by the time election cycle comes around, he's going to be as old as Joe Biden,
well,
and he ain't going to be electable anyway.
I knew we were going
there.
Just
give him a memory foam pillow in the jail cell.
No, just give him a billboard. Give everybody in the OCC is it. Give everybody, if you want to market yourself, right? Listen, Mr. Cruz, listen, if you want to rebrand yourself, give everybody in the OCC billboards.
That shit, you would look like Bucky's. You'd start in Atlanta and go all the way to
Hey,
Florence.
let me.
It would be, we've changed.
Wait a
We've
minute. Wait a minute.
changed."
Wait a minute.
You
Wait a
know,
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a
Cracker
minute.
Barrel. You know,
Yeah,
you
I
come
wanna-
back
I
from
wanna-
Tennessee,
I wanna
like
say
every
something
5
serious.
feet, there's a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Please control your crowd.
No, you control. Go.
Okay. I want to ask a question, then I want to
Fireworks.
tell you something. Who wants to debate?
I think we need to let it be a surprise.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
no, what- oh,
the
okay.
people that know,
Okay, so
if
let
you know,
me
you
say
know.
something about who I think that person is. I won't say the name.
Bring it.
Yep.
That is a person that
Oh.
has bashed Lake people, and I read about it in
Absolutely.
the paper.
Oh, this guy is mad because he didn't get his way with the radio station.
Okay, now
Everybody
Okay.
was kung fu
I went to-
fighting.
No,
I
like-
went to a council meeting
Why
and I
can't we
listened
be
to him
friends?
talk about boating safety, and I was sitting there thinking, this is
This old
actually
song getting
pretty
nuts.
good. This is really, I thought maybe I was wrong. And then the next thing I know, he says, and that goes
Oh,
for the
yeah,
people
yeah.
who live on the lake who think they own everything. And I'm like, you're shitting me. You really said that.
That's exactly.
I was so pissed. I went home and I wrote a thing to Etta Kamick. And well, I got to get along with it. That's really what I got to get along with. I said, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I went up to the council meeting and I read that letter I wrote. And I told him, I said, nobody gave me shit. That's exactly what I said in council. I worked for everything. And if I'm living on the lake, it's because that was my goal since college. So you could stick it.
Just
I didn't say
remember
that. And he apologized to me.
this
But I
guy.
tell you, okay.
This guy.
And guess what happened? 6 months later, I was consulting on a job and I read the paper. He says the same shit. It's about
Well-
the drain in the lake. When are we going to lose?
Just remember, Chris, this is the same gentleman that sat right before county council and the public and told everybody that he was a mean son of a bitch.
Well, that's pretty scary when you think about
And
it.
I
It doesn't
mean-
scare me at
I
all.
mean, he.
Well, it scares me. That's why I've got law and order.
What law and order? This is Oconee County.
Hey, man, it's still illegal to kill
So-
somebody, I think.
I mean, when is David McMahon going to run for sheriff?
Oh, can you? Okay, when he runs for sheriff, then we're going to
It's-
show all the articles
We don't
and
have-
what he,
Can you imagine what kind of trackers we're going to have on
Oh
our
my
cars
God,
then?
heaven. And
All
well,
right, I'm
so-
I'm being asked about what did Nix want in the 45-minute phone call. I to the best of my knowledge,
A truce?
well, I don't know if it was a
It was
truce,
a billboard.
but-
A billboard.
but the first conversation was he said he didn't say that about me arrested, convicted, and charged and pardoned in the Barty Gate, or as
Dis-
Chris says, the Barney
Despite
Gate.
the screenshots.
Despite the screenshots, and he didn't believe it. So, there was a couple of comments that we talked about. There is some things that we did agree on, but for the majority of it, we disagreed. And most of it involved referring to his best friend Perry Smith, that they run around together, and because I said your motives and your moves are fantastic if you're actually preaching conservative values, but with that going on, that's not conservatism. And again, I got a text message. Where's my phone at?
Because he's just a
Recently?
swell guy. We just misunderstand him.
Hold on a second.
He's just
Did he-
misunderstood.
did he tell you to say hi to me or anything?
He's just
No.
misunderstood, y'all.
No. Well, it was like he had actually, quote, I forgot.
He just needs a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Y'all just don't understand.
It was actually like he kind of forgot. And that's basically the way the conversation is. We talked about, I talked about Sewer South. I said, here's the deal. With Sewer South, I said, I disagree with exit 1 and 2. I think it should go to exit 4. I said, that makes better sense than going to exit 4.
There ain't nothing
And
on.
it
exit
was
1
kind of
and 2.
like the conversation was, well, I kind of agree with that. So here it is. So the text message is, I went back and looked at Perry's blog from March 2022 when he was posting about you. No comments from me on those that I could find. You 3 times at least made the allegations of me saying you were arrested, charged, and or indicted. I would like to see the proof. Screenshots if you have them. Well, the first one, here it is. Back from 2022, Perry Smith shared the archive of the Barty Sled report. And again, they don't report the last page, which is the best page ever. Jeff Bright investigated for participation, involvement with James Barty, who was convicted of planning the kidnapping of circuit court judge. Perry Smith posted, reposted due to audience selection. So Roger gets credit for this. Roger Norwood asked the results of the investigation. So in the comment, it says Jeff Bright was investigated. Follow me so far. Okay. So the results of investigation. Here it is. Roger Dale Norwood from David Nix. Conviction followed sometime much later by a pardon, as I recall.
Wow. Which means that you were convicted and pardoned.
Yeah, and
That's
that was
pretty bad.
That was nowhere true. I was never
So, I
convicted.
I wouldn't hire you.
And
Never
just
charged.
Just to be fair, Barty is pardoned.
Yes, Barty
So
got
what does
his
that
pardon.
tell you as well?
Well, hold on.
You weren't even
So-
charged.
Never.
Wait.
Never arrested.
Wait, so you're telling me that the OCC can say those things about you, but when John Aguilar or Roger Norwood or Richard Belmore or Sean Gibson or any of those other folks said something about Matt Durham, who was actually arrested,
and
actually indicted, and then whatever else happened there, he wants to get mad about them, but they would lie about you,
Well,
and then look at you dead in the eye and say I didn't do it.
right. But here's the
You know,
response.
but here's what we need to do: we need to have a debate amongst all future candidates, and let's have it at the dog park.
Well, first of all,
No, listen.
When
Let's
he's still
I'm still-
talking, he's still letting him
I'm
finish.
still waiting for my damn debate
But no, what I'm saying
that
is,
David McMahon was
Listen.
supposed to set up. It never did.
let's bring our children and our dogs down to the new dog park in Seneca,
And chase shoes.
and let's have the debate there, and let's let the
And let 'em
dogs
chase dog shit.
No, let's let the dogs and the children who can actually identify disingenuous people by their vibes, and
Oh, my
whichever
kids are
dog
good at
goes
that.
nuts or child goes nuts near a person, they're not the candidate.
Let me finish
Let
up.
him finish
I want to
that,
finish
and then-
this because I'm running out of steam here. So the apology
I'll
was
take
fair
over.
enough. I apologize. I was wrong. My recollection was incorrect. I did not state that anywhere on the general threads, and he didn't. It was actually on Perry's post where I hit you because at that point I knew it wasn't true. However, I will say I said conviction, but I don't recall if that was referring to you or Barty. And the final text was too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just less than a year.
Well,
Right, but the thing about it
But
is,
I do accept his. As
Oh,
a
no.
person, I accept his apology.
but the
I do.
damage was done.
Well, the damage really didn't do anything, honestly. People's going to believe what they're going to believe, but when they share all of these pages, they don't share the last page of this report because this report tells the whole story. From the get-go, I supported a candidate that I thought would be the best choice for Oconee County because we have had enough of what was going on. The big kicker was we lost $500,000 of drug money in the account. But they only charged one person with it, and they quit investigating after $75,000. Now, let me tell you something. I was around that time. I know a whole lot. And I know that there's other people that was in there that had access to this money too.
Mhm.
That's a fact. And that I'll debate them all day long because I still got all the Barty stuff. Trust me, I never got rid of any of it because I figured at one time it would come back. But then it spread because that one candidate did not like me. He's hated my guts from day one, and that's fine and well because it's mutual feelings mutual.
Mhm.
I didn't feel that he would be the best choice. But here's another fact of this whole thing. If we're going to talk about this tonight, let's talk about it. The newspaper owner and this person were best friends. They were tight. And that was his guy. Well, I didn't like him. And the newspaper guy didn't like me either because look, I tell the truth to people. No matter if it hurts them, I tell it for the good because I care about people. And I don't want to see people because I've grown up, I was born and raised here. But there's a whole lot of things in that sheriff's candidate background that would blow you away. That was facts. We're talking criminal domestic charges. Oh, did you forget about that? I didn't. I remember that. But somehow he was a police officer and went to become a sheriff's deputy, then became the captain, and then he was fired. But yet he was running for sheriff. Well, at the time, again, when Barty hit, I realized I got to support somebody that can carry on the sheriff's department. We got to have somebody that can keep law and order in Oconee County. I went and immediately supported Mike Crenshaw. That was the right thing to do. Mike got fired. You know why he got fired? Because he was doing what everybody else was doing. He was doing work from home at the time, but that was not good enough because you got to understand the chief deputy who was running as well, Mike and Terry Wilson are cousins. They're first cousins. Now are you beginning to see the picture? You put a circle on it and it's a 3-ring wheel. But then you have Jerry that wants to rule the world.
Well, the other problem with Barty is he wasn't from here.
He wasn't from here, but again,
people don't like that.
He was a retired Secret Service agent, and that scared the absolute living hell out of some of these people around here.
Oh, it scared the hell out of all
because people know where the bodies are buried. I can't be no more factual than that because they do. And we have this person that continuously harasses us, who was a former retired deputy sheriff that was a part of all of that in the whole beginning too.
Mr. A&E special.
Yep.
So if you want to have a conversation about what's going on, there it is. We're talking 12 years ago. There was a point that we didn't even know we were going to have a sheriff because
Jeff,
that was the year that everybody got wiped off the ballot.
But hey, Jeff, nobody has ever read a file but him.
Nobody's ever asked my side.
Nobody's ever read a file but him.
And then that worries me too. Because there's a lot of information that only law enforcement agencies would have access to, or somebody was in law enforcement.
Well, I would still like to
think about that.
I'd like to know,
Kathy, you think about that.
How Durham could tell Aguilar that he saw his personnel file.
Well, now wait a minute. That is a very good one, and I'm glad you brought that up. John Aguilera shared his employee file with me. Matt lied.
I'm sure he did.
There is nothing in his employment file.
You know what would surprise? You know what would surprise me more is if you said Matt told the truth. that would actually
the
surprise
comment
me.
About him being a dirty cop. Grossly lied.
He called him a dirty cop?
Yeah,
in the video, he called him a dirty cop. He was a dirty cop. So,
hey, but when you back the blue, none of them are supposed to be dirty, right?
But now,
if you really back the blue, you shouldn't call any law enforcement officer a dirty cop.
I just want to say this. We don't have all dirty cops in Oconee County.
No.
We absolutely have some great ones. I can name Charles Mulwee. I can name Rashad Crooks. I can name several from the city of Seneca that I have had dealings with.
There's some really good,
these are good people.
Officers.
And one of the greatest hires that I think Mike Crenshaw did was get Rashad. Rashad and I worked together with him. Rashad was tirelessly in Mike Crenshaw's campaign. And I know Rashad. He's a great kid, great guy. But there are some that was under the previous administration of Oconee County that I would definitely question. And don't you think it's ironic that one of those former deputies is the one that put the GPS? Yes, you heard right. The GPS on my car and tracked me and wrote a report that I was driving around in known criminal areas such as the Utica Mill Village.
Oh, you mean where you go to church?
Where I go to church.
Can you say
your
who that
church
was?
is?
Huh?
Who was that? You can't say.
Well, it's if you want to go read it, it's in the SLED report, Dale Colgrove, DCT detection, because there's a relationship there. Hey, I'm telling you all tonight. You want to know. And I've never got to tell my side, really, seriously. You want to know, I'm telling you. So when I tell you that this happens, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you.
Oh, I agree 100%. And I'll tell you what, I believe when anywhere.
I did nothing wrong.
You have the vast majority, because what's going to happen is tomorrow you're going to hear McMahon, these guys say, they're bashing the cops.
Yep.
No, the vast majority of officers are really good people, and they put their jobs and their lives on the line every day.
Somebody's asking to see my shirt.
And that is like anywhere across the country and any profession. But you do have bad apples. And
that's any organization.
exactly.
You're gonna have.
But you had this David McMahon that used these veiled things about law enforcement, and then he talked about stalking. I mean, that's crazy. He told me, he said in a post the other day, I bragged about starting GE and being the CEO. I mean, GE was started in 1892.
Can I say this? If you started it, why in the hell are we here?
What the hell?
Where are we not in a mansion somewhere up at upper
18
Manhattan? I want to be in one of those penthouses doing this show
think of that.
overlooking Central Park. I mean, my God.
GE was started in 1892.
My God.
Now I had met the CEO, but no. I mean, I never said that. Why in the hell would I say that?
And I tell you what, I met the CEO of GE.
Well, I did too, but the point is, it's just stupid crap.
I met the CEO of the OCC one time, and it was the worst time of my
But,
life.
but when you start putting in the
had-
paper about a good officer that left, that's doing a good job training dogs for other officers, and you start that crap when he was there first about sounds to me like stalking. You get people
I
that
went and
don't
bought a
understand better
sandwich.
that this guy is full of crap.
But you know what's funny though?
But he's dangerous.
When I got an opportunity to see and be with Jack Wells, she shook my hand and pulled me in close because he's old and frail. And he said, Randy, you're going to go and you're going to do great things. I had no idea this is what he was talking about.
He had no idea. He had no idea you were going
You
to
didn't
become
know
a
me
radio.
then.
And,
Yeah.
excuse me.
He said, you'll probably meet Chris someday. He's a great guy.
Oh,
Well, he told
God.
me to stay away from you if I met
Okay,
him.
we wrap it
But,
up.
but real quick,
Yeah, we
hey,
got to wrap up.
real
gotta
quick,
wrap up,
I
guys.
got a shout out to Bruce Taylor.
Yeah, I see that.
To who?
Jeff, you're the man. Tell Rainey to be jealous. Very jealous.
To who?
To Bruce Taylor. But really though, before we go, I need to give it. I want to talk about something.
What the world?
That's me. I'm
The-
sorry.
The people of Walhalla have probably thought, "Wow, LTO's not going to talk about us."
Oh,
in
wait
our
a minute. Wait a
election
minute.
saga.
Oh, wait a minute. Ray, I am so thankful that you brought something
What are
up.
we
Go
talking
ahead. You
about?
keep talking.
So,
I'm going to rack it up.
we haven't talked about Walhalla and their election cycle, changing their name to Waco, and
Waco.
I mean, it was got a
We're
whole
not
family
changing it
there
to
going to
Waco.
take the whole town over, kind of
They're
like
not.
they did.
Oh
They're
God, that's
not.
gonna be
Um,
great.
But
It's not.
Oh, it's
No.
gonna make the magazines.
next week, I hope that we dedicate the whole 2 hours
We will
to
because,
the Keene family saga.
well, we're getting closer to that. I mean,
We got a
and
lot
need to
of-
start talking about that. But I want to share something with you. Folks, get ready. This is what you're going to be expecting from Walhalla, South Carolina when the Keene family take over.
Oh, everybody listen.
But can we afford it? Should we afford it on the backs of the working men and the poor? I say no, 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 no. And I don't know how you can sit there. I've been so much moralizing, Josh. So much moralizing. And talk about moral. What does the Bible say about that? Taking for what I want. I don't want you fasting. I want you not oppressing the poor.
Don't eat.
That is all over the Bible. Look it up.
No more Mexican at Three Amigos.
I'm sorry, Andy. I got a little pointed things, but if that's the crux of it,
No more eating Three Amigos. You have to be fasting when you live in
Well,
Walhalla.
well, hey,
Kathy, I'm sorry.
Speaking of
You're
Walhalla,
Mexican.
they've got another restaurant coming to town where the old Hungry Hiker was,
I've seen that.
and it's another Mexican restaurant, another foreign traditions place.
Look,
I know, and they need to take that sign down at the Country Cooking that says "Eat here, we both starve." It's like eat here because we're not Mexican. Eat here because we don't.
look. I like burritos. I'm sorry
I do
that
too.
y'all don't like
What would the
burritos.
sign say, Randy?
It says "Eat here or we'll both starve." They could
Hey,
just change
you know-
their marketing to say this is not a Mexican joint.
You know who's that dude that said "Give me liberty or give me death"? Patrick Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that guy sounds like. You know, I mean, that
Do
doesn't even.
that again. Do it again.
When he's like, this moralizing, you know, I want to look at that shit, and I'm like, are you crazy, man? Where am I? What is this crap? Hell, I need an Arby's. Just go to Arby's. Get out of this room. That guy,
Arby's. They
you
have
watch.
the meat.
You watch. If they win and they get everybody in there in that family, it's going to be the most wonderful thing
That would be a quorum.
Apparently,
A
God,
quorum
that's
for
gonna be
anyone
wonderful.
who doesn't understand. Yeah. That we've been hearing so much about. They couldn't go anywhere together. We couldn't have any town hall meetings because that would be a quorum.
Hey, so
Yeah.
he did a shout out. Can I do a quick shout out? He got one.
Who are you gonna give
can't-
out? Go ahead.
well, apparently we couldn't hear. Yeah, the audience for some reason couldn't hear the clip, and I don't know why.
It wasn't
Oh,
worth
they couldn't?
hearing.
Would they want me to hit? Just
No,
listen
no,
to mine.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
He's terrible.
Has to do with Westminster. Randy got his shout out. So my
We
friend,
need to talk about Salem.
this is my friend Blake Hardy of Oconee Auto Detailing. He's been doing detailing for us and friends for many years. This guy is great. Comes to your house, superb job. Prices are great. I made sure I wanted to tell you that because you know me, man. If it's not good work, I'm not going to say anything. This guy's great. Oconee Auto Detail. That's it.
I want to say something that I can actually officially tell you that we got 4 people from the OCC listening to the YouTube or watching the YouTube page
Nice.
because I
Really?
purposely did something so that I know.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, man, you tricked them.
Yeah, I did. I tricked them.
Oh, yeah. Stealth mode.
Aw.
We caught you. We caught you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Hey, you're still fans.
And just because you flirted with me and we're catcalling doesn't mean I'm going to come join your
Oh,
team.
God Almighty. I can't stand it no more. I can't take it anymore.
So we ready to wrap this thing up?
I got you a new song. This is now our new official theme song for Let's Talk Oconee.
So that means we're not going around the table.
Yeah, we are. I'm going to let you hear just a second of it, and then we'll go around the table. I just wanted you to hear the lyrics of it because this is actually a damn cool
Okay,
song.
Let's go. Let's go.
Sounds heavy.
Oh, it gets better. Just get ready. Now, listen, it gets mellow. Oh, listen to that bass guitar. Now, here we go. Got to listen to the words, the lyrics. They're mellow,
Can you
man.
turn it up just a little bit?
Yeah, I can.
I'm starting to jam.
It's called political corruption. It's not about production. It's all about destruction of the society. It's called political corruption. It's causing a disruption, bound for eruption, to the greedy money.
All right, let's go around the table. That is our new official theme song from the Resistance called Political Corruption.
That's good. I thank everybody for watching tonight. I thank my friends in the OCC for sneaking in. My boss caught you. The song was good. I would prefer something a little more patriotic,
Like Air Force One?
like Air Force One by Nelly. So there you go. Thanks again for watching tonight. It's a heavy show, but hey, one very important takeaway, because roads and bridges are very important to us, and potholes.
Well, we're not going to
Just
have
remember,
any meetings for the rest of the year.
Glenn Hart is the one responsible for the transportation committee. He's done squat, and he does not want to hand the job over to any rookie.
No rookie.
No rookies. Thanks again.
All right, Kathy, I'm going to let you go.
Just remember, I don't know how we could even have 2 hours worth of show knowing that poor man cannot get his billboard. Y'all have a great week.
All right, Rennie Bond.
It's a great show. I learned a lot. I hope you guys did out there listening. All you guys that are participating in the show, we appreciate it. Rod, Candace, Richard, Sean, all of you guys. Thank you so much for shouting out to us, and the 4 Lost Boys over there from the OCC that are wanting the truth. I'm glad you're here.
Well, folks,
And please give that
Oh,
guy
yeah,
a
we're-
billboard.
I have to admit, we've been doing a show over 1 year now, and by far tonight was the best show that we've had. And I want to thank Chris for your contributions, Kathy and Rainey. It's a testament for us to set up here because each week we put it out on the line, and I can assure you that we're not the ones lying. No matter what they say, we're backing our stuff up with facts. We can show you, we can prove everything that we say. Matt Durham, you're disingenuous. You are lying. And again, if we explain it, will they listen? Well, we just want an answer. Tell us why and admit that the budget went up $10 million. And for your homework for next week, I want you to take a look at the proposed budget before it was modified and take a look at now, because you're going to see it was less, like $10 million less. And we had more. Seriously, we had more.
And I was in charge of stage props. I finally made it to music producers. Will you please turn up the jams that you put on for me, please?
All right.
As we end the show. This is my music.
All right. Thanks, Chris. All right, folks. See you next. No, there will not be a Sunday show. We have to do it sometime this week because I've got an event that I have to go to next Sunday.
Man.
Well, and the OCDP is having a
That's right.
picnic.
I have a church function that I have to go to Sunday night. So, Randy, can you do Thursday night?
Yeah, I can do Thursday. Can't do Wednesday.
Okay, you do Thursday. You can do Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
All right, so with that all adjourned, we have a quorum officially here. And
Yeah.
by the way, my final word on a quorum, Friday, over at the Apple Festival luncheon, just let you know, they had a quorum.
Oh, did
Yeah.
they advertise it?
No.
They
had
didn't advertise
they
it.
had
They
a-
didn't get their
they had a quorum.
parameters set up.
They had a quorum.
Hey, you know what?
Glenn, Don, and Julian.
You know what? If Glenn could have stayed awake past 8:30, he'd have went out there to the rodeo, and there'd been a quorum there chasing him shoes.
So here it is. India. Final word from her. I like her. I think that's what she says. You ready for this? She says, I think y'all should invite Nix or Matt or both. Let's hear the other side of the story. So I tell you what, invitation's open. I'll do it one-on-one. Y'all don't have to be a part of it, but I'll do it one-on-one.
I'd absolutely love to be there.
Can I at least watch?
No,
I mean, in person.
No, you can be a part of it if you want to.
Okay, I
If
would
they're
like
willing
to
to
be.
sit down at the round table, we're willing to have a discussion. I am.
Oh, God.
All right.
Because I want to ask that question. Matt, tell me about this budget. Because it's very simple and easy to understand.
Hey,
Tell me about
and you know what? Hey, we'll
That's
even.
what I want to know.
Here's the thing.
We'll be
arrange.
very courteous.
We'll arrange it in our next new office space in Westminster.
Yes.
How's that sound?
Yes, that's forthcoming. We
Yeah,
have an
so-
office space in
Yeah, I don't want
Westminster.
to know where I live.
We have a brand new studio coming up, and I tell you what, that sponsorship is going to blow the Julio Mavis thing completely out of the water.
Yeah, we won't have to go into the basement anymore and do the show.
Right.
All
It's
right,
gonna
folks,
be
we got.
live
Crossface.
on Main Street.
All right, folks, thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Let's talk OconeeSC.com. That's where you can find it. If you want to go back and watch the show, you're going to have to wait 24 hours. I love it. Hey, what was it? I love it when a plan comes together. Go get you a billboard, Oconee.
Woo! People keep saying they want to hear the music.
Hey, keep it classy, Oconee. We'll see you next week.
Welcome to the
Thursday,
show.
by the way, 7 o'clock. Have a good evening, everybody.
Those